welcome to the Crypto Rocker channel. We're back again for another episode, and I'm going to talk today a little bit about the big race that I think is getting ready to be sparked off. But first, I'm going to need everybody out there in YouTube land to get on the internet and view my video and then hit the like button, okay? I'll give you a minute. I'll wait a minute while you guys do that, all right? Okay, cool. Thanks. So anyway, I think that this huge race is getting ready to get started for Bitcoin and the crypto market. And I think it's going to be sparked off by, I think it was Argentina that has bought Bitcoin. There are a few countries out there, poorer countries, who have put a bunch of their money, their national treasury, into Bitcoin. And the reason is because the monetary policies of the first world countries and basically the central bankers that control that are really horrible. I mean, they're a bunch of shysters, you know what I mean? They cause all this inflation and they raise the rates and they do all this stuff. And it makes life hard for people in first world countries, but it makes life disastrously hard in some of these poor countries. So a lot of these countries like Venezuela and Argentina and these little countries, they're looking for a way out. They're looking for some kind of an alternative. And guess what? They found it. They're turning to Bitcoin. Okay. See, a lot of people out there don't understand Bitcoin, but there's a litmus test. You should ask yourself one simple question. Why is it that the people on the left and the bankers and the people who control the world, basically the most corrupt people in the world, why do they hate Bitcoin and crypto so much? Got to ask yourself that question. You know what I mean? They'll claim that they hate it because it's just so bad. But we know a few things about these people, okay? It's, yeah. So anyway, there is word in the pipeline, and I just heard that Qatar, the nation of Qatar, there are rumblings and little grapevine whispers going on that they are possibly getting ready to jump in to Bitcoin big time. I read something like $500 billion worth of Bitcoin they're thinking about buying and putting on their national treasury. And the reason I think that they're possibly going to do this is because of the fact that they understand what Bitcoin is. They also understand that they've got to get away from being completely reliant upon the world's reserve currency, which is the US dollar, which is kind of, I mean, it is what it is, with the inflation and everything. And I do think that it's going to spark off some kind of a race. I think at some point here in the near future, you got the ETF coming. You've got the halving coming in April, and I think it's only a matter of time before not only big money managers and big hedge funds and big companies, but also governments, both big and small, all around the world, are going to start getting into a race to buy Bitcoin. And once this race gets sparked off, and the beginning might be the ETF approval, but once this thing gets sparked off and they all start buying Bitcoin and they start trying to glom up whatever Bitcoin, I've talked before about the supply and the demand of Bitcoin, how if demand starts skyrocketing, it has no effect on the supply. The supply is fixed, can't be changed. There's only so much Bitcoin available. And if they start going out there and trying to buy up every last Bitcoin that they can find, it's going to cause something of a, it's going to be unbelievable. There's really no way to predict what could happen. Crazy. had we had a big, huge snowstorm yesterday. Lots of snow falling out there. But I'm not going to go out there. Not right now, anyway. Pretty big storm. Still snowing out. Real cold out. This race will begin at some point, and you'll have all the money in the world, like this tsunami of money rolling in, as all of these people basically want to buy up every bit of Bitcoin that they can and get the lion's share of it. Found out the other day, that it's common knowledge that the Bitcoin spot ETF is coming here in the United States. Well, other countries around the world, big countries like China, are seeing that, and they understand that when this thing happens, tons of money is going to pour in to these ETFs, and it's going to happen here in the United States for the most part. Well, they don't want that. They don't want the America to just get it all. And if you got the U.S. and China, then what other first world countries are going to want to have it? The European countries, maybe Russia. Who knows? Russia might want to get in on the act. France, Japan, Israel. They've always been on the cutting edge. I just think this time is coming when the whole world is going to view Bitcoin basically the way guys like myself and other Bitcoin maximalists and technocrats have seen it for the past 10 years, seen it as digital gold, as the purest asset that you can, the hardest asset, the most pure asset on the planet. Okay. Anyway, in the whole crypto market, though, it's kind of a weird thing because Bitcoin right now is pretty much rock solid. It's staying very, very solid at about the $44,000 level. It's really not doing much of anything. It's just kind of held that level. There's not enough selling pressure to push it down, and there's not enough buying pressure for it to go up. It's really found its sort of equilibrium. But the entire altcoin market, it's kind of weird. The altcoins have really kind of lagged behind a little bit, and the altcoins are cooling off a little bit. And I think possibly the reason why that's happening is because, right now, especially now in anticipation of this Bitcoin ETF coming very soon, Bitcoin definitely is in the spotlight. So I think that the Bitcoin dominance is going to be pretty much secured right now. I think Bitcoin is definitely the BMOC, the big man on campus. And for the time being, that's not going to change. Bitcoin's in the spotlight big time. The ETF is coming. The halving is coming in April. I do foresee a really, really huge altcoin season coming at some time. But usually in the past, that's when Bitcoin dominance begins to fall. Not necessarily the price of Bitcoin, but dominance, as in Bitcoin dominating the rest of the market. Bitcoin will sort of take a break in the dominance area, and then the altcoins will start to dominate more, and more money will start to pour in, be a lot more bullish action in the altcoins. But right now, the altcoins are definitely in a cool-off period. If you look at like CoinMarketCap right now, the altcoins are pretty much all red, and Bitcoin is green. So we're looking at probably next week to see what happens with the Bitcoin ETF. So everybody stay tuned for that. And with that being said, all right. See you guys next time on the Crypto Rocker channel.